The modern nail industry operates on layered innovation. Over thousands of years, the practice transitioned from natural cosmetic staining to precision-engineered architecture. The procedures for formal salon manicuring in the West were established decades before the arrival of modern chemical enhancements. The decisive technological leap occurred with the 1957 Slack patent. By combining polymethyl methacrylate powder with a monomer liquid, this filing moved the industry away from simple surface treatments and introduced complex, form-based polymer architecture. A common misconception is that each new product renders the previous formulas obsolete. In reality, new technologies layer on top of older ones to solve different operational problems. As a result, today's industry relies on a mixed economy of 4 distinct structural systems. First, traditional acrylics, pre-shaped soft gel extensions like Gel-X, viscous builder gels, and a revived press-on market. Operating within this ecosystem forces technicians to actively manage volatile chemistry, balancing the client's desire for long-wear aesthetics against severe occupational health risks like respiratory and dermal exposure. Navigating these hazards is further complicated by workforce demographics. Nearly half of the foreign-born nail technicians working in the United States face significant English language barriers. Because nail technology is an applied material science constrained by strict safety regulations and linguistic hurdles, teaching a single application technique is no longer a viable educational model. This table charts 4 primary chemical systems used in salons, mapped by properties, removal pathways, and advantages. Gel-X operates as a platform system. By utilizing a pre-shaped soft gel tip, it eliminates workflow friction, lowers airborne dust, and guarantees shape consistency. Its chemistry allows full soak-off removal, highly efficient for standard wear cycles. Traditional acrylic follows a completely different logic. It requires in-situ structure building, demanding technicians mix polymer powder and monomer liquid directly on the nail to forge a rigid architecture. That rigidity is necessary for customized sculptural work, correcting asymmetry and maintaining long-term fills without soaking off extensions. Builder gels occupy a distinct third lane. These viscous, light-cured polymers reinforce the natural nail and create structural overlays, avoiding the heavy evaporative chemistry of acrylics. Press-on systems capture the fast turnaround retail and event market, utilizing self-adhesive applications that bypass professional structural longevity entirely. A modern salon solves multiple architectural problems simultaneously, and the professional technician's true economic value comes from accurately matching the chemical system to the specific use case. Navigating these distinct systems takes a severe physical toll on the practitioner. Whenever nail technology updates, the changes are consistently driven by occupational hazard data and public safety interventions. This schematic details a standard nail workstation based on federal field evaluations. It tracks the specific pathways of chemical vapors and airborne particulates flowing directly into the worker's breathing zone. Without local exhaust ventilation, the continuous filing of polymer structures leads to high particulate inhalation, while the rigid posture required for application causes acute musculoskeletal strain. The most frequent adverse reaction is allergic contact dermatitis, triggered by repeated dermal exposure to reactive ingredients like uncured methacrylates and glues. This chart highlights a defining vulnerability in the sector. Approximately 46% of foreign-born nail technicians in the United States report limited English proficiency. This linguistic barrier directly impacts workplace safety. State board regulations and the precise hazard warnings listed on safety data sheets cannot protect a worker who cannot easily read them. When instructions are misunderstood, the result is incorrect curing protocols, aggressive filing during removal, and unprotected skin contact with volatile compounds. Ensuring safe salon operation is effectively a translation problem. Advanced chemical innovations require precise handling, making language access an absolute requirement for worker protection. Louisville Beauty Academy offers a concrete case study for how vocational education can structurally adapt to these realities. Their framework illustrates a center of excellence model, an approach that discards single-brand loyalty in favor of comprehensive system literacy. This model relies on a strictly layered curriculum. The non-negotiable bedrock is licensure readiness, intensive instruction in local statutes, infection control, anatomy, and microbiology. The next tier advances to comparative system labs. Students must master acrylics, builder gels, soft gel extensions, and press-on applications in parallel to understand the structural limits of each. Safety training is removed from theoretical lecture and made operational. This layer enforces active ventilation management, allergy prevention, and correct ergonomics directly at the workstation. The final outcome is workforce alignment. By operating supervised community clinics and maintaining employer partnerships, the school produces technicians ready for immediate employment. This exact sequencing satisfies federal occupational health recommendations for hazard reduction while fulfilling state-level practical clinic hour requirements. This curriculum architecture transforms the beauty school into a rigid compliance engine, converting raw chemical interactions into a safe, standardized piece of civic infrastructure. Delivering this curriculum introduces a severe logistical problem. A single instructor cannot effectively translate complex polymer chemistry across a classroom of diverse, multilingual adult learners. This flowchart illustrates the necessary digital layer. By processing English safety documents through an AI translation engine, schools generate accurate, multilingual instruction and personalized tutoring on demand. But operational efficiency requires strict negative constraints. AI is deployed exclusively to augment language access and retrieve policy. It is never permitted to substitute for human judgment. This limitation aligns directly with UNESCO's published framework for generative AI in education, which requires data protection safeguards and a strictly human-centered approach. The U.S. Department of Education reinforces the standard, advising that algorithmic tools must operate strictly as supports, heavily monitored by human educators. An algorithm cannot accurately evaluate a physical curing protocol, correct a student's hand filing angle, or authorize a state license. Those clinical and safety approvals remain entirely under the authority of a licensed instructor. Used correctly, AI governs the language gap. It creates an accessible institutional memory that supports the student while protecting the final accountability of the human professional. Looking toward 2040, the Bureau of Labor Statistics projects faster than average employment growth for manicurists and pedicurists, driven by expanding demand across multiple artificial nail segments. For educational institutions, future viability will not hinge on which specific product brand they introduce first. It will depend entirely on their ability to build and audit verifiable operational memory. This dashboard displays metrics required to verify a center of excellence is functioning: first-time practical pass rates, language-specific learner success, and routine sanitation audits. Tracking chemical safety training establishes an auditable baseline for protection. Similarly, logging AI interactions alongside human overrides ensures tools are actively governed. For state regulatory boards, the mandate is clear. Core curriculum hours must remain anchored in anatomy and infection control, while granting schools the operational flexibility to rapidly update their system-specific labs. For local workforce agencies, this structured education serves as a proven economic mobility pathway, offering working adults and immigrants regulated entry into self-employment. The nail industry functions as a highly regulated, chemically complex workforce infrastructure. Sustaining it demands an elite, systems-level educational foundation to ensure professional safety and clinical excellence.